Yeah. So good afternoon all, and welcome back again for another lecture of digital electronics, that is MUX and DMUX. So today we are going to continue what we have studied in the last class. Actually, what we have studied in the last class was multiplexer and demultiplexer. So that was actually the presentation in which you were able to see the circuit diagram itself. Today we are going to try how the circuit diagram is a little bit easier when we draw it on the board. So just look at that portion. To start with, I'll just try to repeat what we have studied yesterday. So we have studied multiplexer and demultiplexer. The multiplexer is the one which is having many inputs and a single output. That means many terminals can be connected to a single end. In that case, I have showed you some example of that in which some of the sound system devices are to be connected to a sound system, right? That is the cable TV, the say MP3 player, and your TV or music system, and that is to be connected to a particular sound system. So what we have done, we have put a switch in between that we are calling as MUX. And depending on the select lines, the number of the codes of that select lines, a particular device was being selected to give the input to that sound system, right? So that was called as the MUX. Today we are going to study that, and I expect from your side that you might be able to draw those circuits in presentation. So we'll be starting with this. So the first one is the MUX. I guess I expect that it is visible to you. So we will be studying this MUX, right? So MUX means multiplexer, and actually the it is many inputs to one. So that is MUX. Let us start with that. So MUX means many to one. Many to one. That is called as multiplexer, right? Many to one. That is called as multiplexer. So we have studied, say, 2 is to 1, 4 is to 1, 8 is to 1 mux, and 16 is to 1 mux. So we have studied all these mux yesterday, and depending on the number of inputs that we are expecting to connect, we require the select lines, right? So what is the calculation of that? So if it is 2, so 2 raised to power n equal to 2. So that implies that you should have one select line, and when we are expecting 4, 2 raised to power n is 4, then the select lines will be 2 raised to power 2 is 4, and this is how it goes. So 2 raised to power n, again, that will be give you 8 inputs. So the select lines will be 3, and similarly for 2 raised to power n, that is 16 inputs, will be requiring 4 select lines. So accordingly it goes. So depending on the inputs that we are expecting to connect to a mux, we are supposed to have the select lines, right? So for 2 raised to power n, that is for 2 is to 1, we require 1 select line. For 4 is to 1, we require 2 select lines. For 8 is to 1, we require 3 select lines. And for 16 is to 1, we require 4 select lines. So I expect from your side that when we'll try 4 is to 1 mux, as I've explained it on the presentation itself. Let us try on that how we are going to have that circuit. So initially we are trying for 4 is to 1. I guess it is visible to you. So we are trying for 4 is to 1 mux. Right. Now let's start with that. So it was having 4 AND gates like this. So 1, then this was the second AND gate. Why AND gates are used, I have told you yesterday, because these AND gates work only when all the inputs are high. Otherwise, this gates doesn't work. So we are having these 4 AND gates. We will name that A, B, C, and D. These AND gates are having 3 inputs and a single output like this. So we are having 3 input AND gates like this. So just see how I am trying to draw that. So these are 3 input AND gates having one single output. Now, since we are expecting that we are having only one output at the end, so what I will do is I will club all these four uh, outputs to a XOR gate like this. So I will just club all those four outputs first, and then we'll try for the yes like this. So this is given to a XOR gate like this. I guess it is okay. So we are having three AND gates A, B, C, and D, and those are connected to an OR gate, right? And these three inputs are to be selected. Now, as we know that we for 4:1 mux, 4:1 mux, how many select lines we require? We require two select lines, right? So two select lines are essential for this 4:1 mux. So let us try on that. So I will be having two select lines. I am drawing this like this. So this is two select lines. One is A and say the other one is B. So like this. So we are having two select lines A and B. We'll be using that. Now I will just invert both of them by using a NOT gate like this. So I'm making a second line like this. So yes, I guess you have understood what I have done. I have made two select lines into four just by inverting it. So two select lines are being inverted by using a NOT gate like this. So A and B are two select lines, right? Now the first terminal that we require of all the gates should be the input. So I am using this four lines for that. So this is the first input that we'll call as say D0, or we can like write source one. The second one is D1. So they are starting with 0, right? So remember this. Then we are starting with D2 and the last one, that is D3. I guess they are visible. So they are not connected, right? So they are not connected now. They are just drawn like this. Whenever we want to make a connection, what we'll do, we'll have say a big dot on that, right? So we'll be doing that. So these are not connected with this. So these are the separate line and these are also the separate lines. So we are having four select lines. In that case, we are having two select lines converted to four, right? A and B, which are being inverted like this. So A and B are being inverted, and D0, D1, D2, and D3 are given to the first input of all these gates. We are expecting them as the inputs or so the sources to this, right? So D0, D1, D2, and D3 are the four inputs. Now, for to select one of the input, right? So we'll have that truth table. We'll try to make that truth table like this. So we are having this truth table for that. Yesterday I have shown you all those things. It is the simplest truth table that we use for say uh, the say we use that for the basic logic gates. So it is having 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, right? So for the first combination of 0, 0, we require that they should be we require that the first input line, that is D0, should be selected. So I'll write y output to be D0 like this, right? So have you got this? How I am writing that? Yeah. So what I have done for this is I have connected the inputs like this, and we have this truth table. So by this truth table, what we require that it should be when A and B are 0, 0, then his output Y should be D0. When the output A and B are 0, 1, then the output should be D1. Similarly, for 1 0, we'll have the output as D2, and for 1 1, the output should be D3. So we are having four inputs and the output is 1. Now let us try with this. So the first code is both are 0 0. So when both are 0 0, these terminals of the inverter are going to be high, right? So we are going to connect this to the first because we need that gate A should be enabled and the rest of the gates should be disabled. For that, what I am putting this 1 1. So the inverter output, I am connecting it. So how I am connecting it? Just go through this. So I will just make a dot over here and I will show like this. And the second one should be connected over here. So I will make a dot over here and I will connect. So have you understood how I am connecting it? Rest of are not connected. Unless and until we are connecting like this, it is assumed that they all are not connected, right? So these two terminals are being connected. Now just imagine what happens when these both A and B are 0, then the inverted output of A and B are supposed to be 1 1. So if both these are 1, then this gate is going to be enabled. Enabled means this gate is going to give you the output. Other gates, since we have not connected to the other gates right now, so they are not going to work. So this gate is enabled and the output D0 is going to come out of this because all the outputs are connected to the all the outputs are going to be all the outputs are being odd, like, so because they are being odd, so the output is going to be Y. So that is how we are having four inputs and a single output. The second situation, in the second situation, when this A is 0 and B is 1, then A is 0 means this inverted input we have to take, and B is already 1. So we will be selecting the direct line which is over here. So this line we are going to select for this gate. So the second terminal to enable this gate B, to enable the AND gate B, we require B to be directly connected. Now we are not putting the inverted input, but we are putting the direct B, right? So we are having four select lines in that case. So the first, which is high, that line we are going to select. Similarly for the A output, will be selecting the inverted input of that. So this is for gate B. Now imagine when this is 1 and B is high, say that's the same is there. So both are being enabled and this gate B is now high, right? So D1 output is going to come out of it, and D1 is odd, the output Y it will be D1. Similarly, for the next code, that is 1 0. So this is 1 and this is supposed to be 0. So this inverted output is to be selected for B, and for A, this A directly can be selected. So to enable the gate C, we'll directly put this to A over here, and this we are going to the inverted output of B. So this is how you are trying to make the connections like. So I need to show all those things. So the first is A directly and B to the inverted. Last, when both are 1, so the direct terminals which are not being inverted are to be connected to gate D, so that the fourth output should come across that. So this is directly connected and this is also directly connected, right? So wherever we are making this type of a dot on this, that particular wires are being connected. Other wires are not supposed to be connected. So remember this, while making a circuit of a multiplexer, we are going to do that. So I guess you have understood how to draw the circuit of a multiplexer. I will just repeat it again for you. To make a 4 is to 1 mux, we require two select lines, right? And we have taken these two select lines as A and B. We have drawn two wires directly over here. Now we have made that two lines into four by just inverting them. So we have connected a NOT gate on the directly to it. So it is being connected over there. So this has been connected, and we have got the four terminals of say A and B, right? So A inverted, B and B inverted, right? So we are having four lines out of it. Now we are using four gates A, B, C, and D. For the first combination, that is when A and B are 0, 0, we are using the inverted in output of it. So A equal A bar and B bar. So we call it as A bar and B bar. So the inverted outputs are being connected to these gates. A, so that this gate A is enabled and the input D0 appears out of it, and this D0 is odd. So all the four inputs outputs are odd. So that means Y is the direct output. So this D0 is going to appear outside that. The next one, when next code will be when A equal to 0 and B equal to 1. So B directly we are putting it over here, and A after inversion. So this will give you, this will enable this gate, that is B. And for C, the code is 1, 0, and A is directly put and B is given by the inverted input. So this is B bar, right? And this is A directly. So A and B bar. Last, both are high. So A and B are directly given, and B bar and A bar are left, right? So only those gates will enable when these codes appear. So this is how we try to make the codes. So for say 4 is to 1, we are using 16. For say 4 is to 1, we are requiring two select line. Similarly, say for 16 is to 1, we'll be requiring 4, and for 32 is to 1, we'll be requiring 5. For say 64 is to 1, we'll be requiring 6 select lines, and so on. So this is how our number comes. So the telephone number that we use at our homes, that particular number is being designed or being decoded by this type of a pattern of truth table. Now this is the simplest circuit that we use for the multiplexer. So this is multiplexer. I guess you have understood how to draw the circuit of multiplexer. Yesterday it was little bit complicated. I guess you have understood, or do you have any problems on that? If you have any problems, issues, let me know. You can unmute yourself, and we can rectify those. Have you got? Hello? So that we can proceed towards the other part of it, that is the demux. So we can try to draw the demux also. Have you understood this? Anybody can unmute and let me know. So, uh, Manish, have you understood? Omkar is not there. Yeah, Omkar is there. Sanket, thank you, Sanket. Yes, you can send message also on that. So I guess Sanket has dropped a message. Anybody else? Jaiswal? Manish, yes, you have understood. Thank you, thank you. So I guess all have understood how to draw this multiplexer circuit. But when we see it completely, it looks a little bit complicated. But otherwise, it is very simple to draw, right? So if you draw it like this, it is very easy to draw. Now let us try the same circuit for demux. Now what is a demux? When I say demux, that is the vice versa of the mux, right? So mux was many is to one, and demux is one is to many. So one is to many means a single input and many outputs. So in that case, what we are trying to do is we are going to have a single input on that. So this same circuit can be used to design the debug circuit. Just see how I'm going to do that. First, we are requiring many outputs out of it. So I am cutting this OR gate. So as you cut this OR gate, remove this OR gate, we'll be having this four outputs, D1, D2, and D3. Or in that case, if we are always claiming it like Y, so we'll be having four outputs like Y1, Y0, Y1, Y2, and Y3. And the other change that we need to do is we want only single input, right? So I'll be removing all these inputs over there, and I'll be making it one. So yes, I'll be removing this first D1, then I'll be removing this D2. So we'll not be having all the inputs like, right? So we'll be requiring only one input, and we'll be expecting four outputs. Like, so I had removed all the inputs from a mux. The same circuit I'm trying to use that like this, right? So this is supposed to be the single input that we want. That single input can be given to all. So I will use that same to all, and I will connect this to all. 1, 2, and 3. So I have connected this single input. This is the input that is D0 to all, to the first terminal of all the AND gates. So A, B, C, and this one was the last one, that is D. So I have given the single input to all the inputs. So we are having one single input and four outputs. The rest of the circuit remains the same, right? So just imagine how it goes. So when we want that this input is to be given to Y0, then we'll be having this code, that is 00. So this will appear at Y0. The input will appear at Y0. Input D0 will be at Y0. When it is 01, then the input is going to appear at gate B, that is Y1, and similarly Y2 and Y3. So DMUX, the circuit is nearly same. The codes, the select lines are nearly same. Just we need to remove the OR gate at the end, and we have to make all the inputs as a single input. So we'll be connecting all inputs, all of the gates of the inputs to single one, right? So it is 1:many. This is how you can design the other gates, that is say 16:1 or 8:1, right? So have you understood this? So this is what we are going to call it as the reverse of that, that is 1:4 DMUX, right? DMUX, MUX. Now again it is having two select lines for that, and it is the simplest one that we can have, right? So I guess you have understood how to draw a mux, that is 4:1 mux, and 1:4 mux, 1:4 dmux, right? So 1:4 dmux and 4:1 mux. Have you understood? This is the simplest thing that we can draw. So we have just cleared all the inputs, and we have made a single input over here, and we have connected that single input to all the four gates likewise, and the outputs where we were having the OR gate at the end in the mux, we have removed that, and we have made it four separate outputs, and we are expecting that this single input to appear on Y0, Y1, Y2, and Y3 depending on this particular, the same code that we are using for our gates. Okay, any issues, any problems? If you have not got, please, you can unmute yourself and you can tell me so that we can resolve your problems. I guess you are, if it is not, then I guess that I expect from your side that you should be able to draw all this circuitry which I have shown you over here. So just try this circuits on the other type of mux and demux, the mux and demux, like 1:8 and 8:1 mux. Similarly for DMUX, 1:8 DMUX. So you can try that at your home, and that is actually the assignment that I need to tell you, that you can draw that. So no need to draw. Also, you can draw all the gates also, but in the case of 1:8 or 8:1, you will be requiring three select lines. Remember this. So you'll be requiring three select lines A, B, C. right? Accordingly, you'll be drawing this. So in a page, you are able to draw. How many gates you are requiring? You'll be requiring 8 gates for that, 8 AND gates, right? For demux, you'll be requiring 8 AND gates, and for mux, you'll be requiring 8 AND gates and one XOR gate having 8 inputs, right? So 8 is to 1 mux. And similarly, the same circuit can be used for the demux, that is 1 is to 8 demux. Again, it should have the 3 select lines for that. So I guess you have understood how to draw this circuit mux and demux. While in the presentation it was very difficult to understand, it appears that it is a it is a little bit complicated circuit. But when we go through this type of an arrangement and simple connections, then it is very simple to draw and it is very simple to understand. The practical in which we are going to perform, that is must and demust, where we going to select certain point and we need to know whether that circuit, particular circuit is working or not. Right. So we are going to do that on a practical kit also. So when the offline classes will start, I guess we'll be doing that. So if you have any problem, you can unmute and you can ask questions on this must and demust. I guess this topic is over as far as say syllabus is concerned, and we'll be doing it practically on the kit also. So anybody can unmute and ask any question on this mux and demux. If you have any questions on that, okay, right. So any questions, or else if there are no questions, we can conclude over here. Shall we? Shall we conclude? Hello. Yes. Okay. So thank you very much for joining this class. And yes, of course, I'm going to upload this video. And if you have any queries, put it on WhatsApp group or say on the comment box in the YouTube channel itself. Go through my YouTube channel, watch more videos, and still more videos to come for digital electronics as well as analog electronics on my YouTube channel. Uh, but please like, share my YouTube channel and subscribe my YouTube channel and recommend those YouTube videos to others also. Thank you very much, and I expect everything is safe on your side. Stay home, stay safe, and take care. Have a nice time. Thank you again for joining. See you soon in the next lecture.